faith is not a belief. I believe that God will do it. It's not faith. Faith is not confession. I take that car. That's not faith. I receive my healing. That's not faith. It's a make confession. Faith is not begging somebody for something. And what they now give you, you say, I got it by faith. So faith is not begging. Once you start begging, you're walking in unbelief. Faith owns it. So nobody beg for what he owns. Faith knows that this thing is mine. So I take it. I go and take it. So when I talk as the owner of the thing. Can you hear what I'm saying? If you don't own it, you can't have it. If you don't own it, you can't what? You can't have it. So whatever you are going out for in faith, you must also understand that that thing belongs to you in the first place. Because your father owns it, then you own it. I have a lot of things I enjoy today that wasn't mine, but it was willed to me by my father. Do you understand? Because your father's property is your property. Are you hearing what man is saying? God created the world and handed it over to man. Whatever God owns, we also have access to it. If you hear me, say, I hear you, sir. So what is faith? Of course, before this, and you see the book of James, before I define faith, James 2 verse 14. James 2 verse 14. He said, what does it profit, my brethren? Though a man say that I have faith and he doesn't have work, can that faith save him? So he's talking about those who are doing make confession. I have my healing. I have this. I have this car. I have this money. He said, can that faith save him? He said, no. So you see, I'm going to be bringing down things now, practical. Sometimes we're going to practicalize some things. Because speaking and jumping, people comes back, they are the same. It was Bill Graham. You see, when I was young, I thought I would change the whole world. So he preached all his life with passion, going to nation to nation. He said, now I am old. The world is still the way it is. Is somebody hearing what I'm trying to say? He said, the world is still the way it is. Can faith save him? He said, no. Hebrew 11 verse 1. He said, now faith is the substance. If you have a Bible, circle the word substance of things that is hoped for. Then he now repeated the same thing he said. The evidence of things not seen. So faith is two things here in this chapter, this verse. Faith is substance, circle it, then faith is evidence. What is evidence? The word evidence means proof. Faith is the proof that the house belonged to me. Faith is the proof that the car belonged to me. So it is beyond confessing that I have the car. I have the proof that this car is mine. Police caught you on the way. They said, can I see your particulars? You bring out the particulars and show to them. It must tally with the vehicle license. So that paper is what? Is a proof, is an evidence that the car is mine. Is somebody hearing what I'm talking about now? You got a land somewhere. Do you carry land anywhere you go? If somebody asks you, who owns this land? You say, I am the owner of the land. Would they write it on your face? No. They say, how do we know that you are the owner of this land? You present the title deed. So the title deed is the evidence, is the substance. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So when we are talking about faith, first of all, before you talk about faith, you have to talk about hope. So hope is the contents. Hope talks about what you want and what you desire, the things you want to see. So when you now define what you want to see, faith now said, how will this thing be achieved? You see that? Faith is how. What is the proof? What can I do to make sure that this thing I believe God for comes to light? So let me put it in a way you will now understand it. Faith is what you do to prove that what you ask for is yours. Faith is what you do to deliver your hope. So if I'm praying for a car, when a lot of people look at how some persons pray, you pray for a car and you wait for God to do it. That's not how it's been done. And that's a lot of fault. That's what we're doing. You pray for a school fees, you are waiting for God to bring it. You pray for a land, you are waiting for God to bring the land. How many of you have been waiting on God to bring something? Let me see, wave your hand. Wave it, let me see. You are praying for something now. You pray for house rent, you are waiting for God to bring the house rent. Wave your hand, let me see you. That's why nothing has worked. God is not bringing nothing. God is not giving nothing. That's the reason you are being frustrated. That's why some of you, when you got born again, God can send somebody to do one miracle or the other. You think that is how it should be. No. Faith is given to you so that you can buy anything you want, anytime, any day. If God keep giving you, you are limited. So God gives you instrument. It's just like me now, giving you my ATM card. It's different for you calling me to credit you. We are calling on God to credit us, but God is telling you, I have given you an ATM card, buy whatever you want. That's faith. Faith is a currency of heaven. It's what God gives to you, for he has given to every man the measure of faith. Find it. I show it to them. The day you got born again, a measure of faith is given to you. So faith grows. So your faith has to be growing. Because the Bible tells us how faith comes. Faith comes by knowledge. The more you know, the more your faith grows. Faith can also be defined as obeying God to prove that you believe him in order to commit God to perform his word. Faith is obeying God to prove that you believe in order to commit God to do his will. Faith is doing what God said to you to deliver the prayer request. So when I pray to God, if that my prayer must come to light, I must hear God. So when you are praying to God for anything, you are praying to hear him, not praying for him to do it. You are praying to hear God say exactly what you need to do to deliver that result. So doing what God says is the work of faith. Am I talking to somebody here now? So when they're talking about work of faith is not working in the bank. Work of faith is doing what God said to you concerning the prayer request. That means when you are praying for a thing, he said, I have prayed. When you finish praying, what did God say to you? Until God says something to you, it means your prayer has not been answered. So when God speaks to you, stop praying about that thing. Go and do what he said. He will deliver. If you hear me, sir, I hear you, sir. So what exactly do you want now? What are you desiring now? So you take that thing to the place of prayer. You start praying. And when you are praying, what are you believing God for? What are you believing God for? Okay, I want iPad. I take it in the place of prayer. And I start praying. I need an iPad. What should I be believing God for? iPad or a word? I'm believing God for a word to know what to do to get my iPad. I am the one that get iPad. iPad is not in heaven. I can finish praying. Are you getting what I'm saying? Somehow, somebody can just walk into me. He will tell you somebody is coming. And when that person comes, tell the person you need an iPad. He might tell you, go to ShopRite, go and price it first. It's in the place where you are pricing. Somehow, things can happen. When God speaks, you move. So there must be a word. I pity those who hear words and they don't act. That's what the Bible says. Faith without work is what? Is dead. That's why somebody has been asking God for things for a very long time. Nothing is going on. Because they are not ready to walk. They are not ready to act. Is somebody hearing me now? Is somebody hearing me?